Hey there YouTube, this is a very excited Heir of Carthage coming to you. I'm here with Shogun 2 Total War, and tonight Heir went out on a limb and decided to be a little bit fiscally unresponsible, and I went and bought a new graphics card and power supply, which is pretty greedy because there was nothing really wrong with mine. But I wanted to see Shogun in its full splendor, since it's such a nice game, and of course they haven't patched the anti-aliasing yet, so we can't see it in its full splendor. But I went and bought a Radeon HD 5770, and it's an XFX model, and I'm not gonna lie, the results are fantastic. And I bought a 600 watt power supply and installed that in my machine, so I really feel like my computer now has more of a gaming feel to it. I know it's nothing special. There's a lot of people out there probably have something a whole lot better, but to me, I'm excited. So let me show you let me show you my graphics options here. You can see that I have this thing maxed out. I have maximum resolution, everything maxed here, except for, of course, anti-aliasing, which doesn't work at this point. So all maxed out. Let me bring you a couple of online battle replays I had. I thought you'd enjoy these. I played these actually earlier today on my old graphics card, so now you're going to see them in a much greater splendor. So there's my opponent's name. It's Atlantica, and we're playing on the Foothills map. And this was actually, I think, medium funds, not the small funds like you saw in some of my early videos, so there'll be quite a few more troops on the field. And man, I can't wait till you see this. I hope it comes up on YouTube as good as it comes out on my screen. You know, I might actually try and upload in 1080 so that it can be watched in full HD. So we'll see what happens there. In any case, like I said, I'm extremely excited. I did a quick run through. I get fantastic frame rates. Like right now, I'm recording with fraps, all the ultra settings on, zoomed in, and I'm getting 21 frames per second, which is absolutely outstanding, as 20-something frames per second was as fast as I got on high settings without recording with fraps, my old machine. So check out the ultra splendor here. Here's my army. I have 5 units of these Katana Samurai. I have 3 units of Yari Cav. 1 is hidden in the woods. This is my Numidian Lancer, basically one of my veteran units. And this one, let's see. Yeah, that's just more of them. Oh, check out who my general is for this battle. He's not going to look familiar. Let me see if I can spot him. I'll have to spot. Oh, here he is. This is Patchy. That's right, Patchy is now commanding my forces. For those of you who are a fan of my Poland-Lithuania campaign, the once famous peasant Patchy is now back as the samurai commander of my army. So there he is. Unfortunately, I still have the bug that it doesn't put my my avatar in the armor that I put him in, so he's not dressed like I'd really like him to be. And then to round off my army, I have 3 Yari Ashigaru spear units, nothing special here, and 3 Bow Ashigaru, just, you know, bow units, obviously, Bow Ashigaru. Let me show you my opponent's army. Now, let me just say this. Since the first Shogun 2 online battles that I put up, online play has changed drastically, and that's because people now have ranked their avatar way up. New units are unlocked, and as you can see by my opponent's flags here, with the little chevrons, his whole army almost has veteran units. I mean, he has some that doesn't, but I've seen players that their entire army is veteran units, and that's a big deal because these veteran units are tough to crack. So let me show you some of the units he has. He's got I think 2 units of these Bow Samurai. That's what they look like. He's got 3 units of experienced Bow Ashigaru. There they are. I think he has 4 units of these Magenta Warrior Monks, and these guys have some crazy defense and morale stats. At least I think they do, and I'll explain why I think that. There goes some more of them. Here is his avatar, and his avatar, let's see, I can't tell the name, but anyway, there's the name on his avatar if you want to try and make it out. He's also got a Lone Sword Ashigaru, and a Nodashi Samurai here with 3 upgrades. That's the big 2-handed sword dudes. Yep. And he's got some Yari Ashigaru here as well. Now, I made some big mistakes in this battle, and that's why I want to show you this battle. And one of my mistakes was thinking that because I have sword infantry as opposed to his Magenta infantry, I thought that my infantry would be easily superior, and so I completely underestimated my opponent's infantry. Now, I mean, these Yari Ashigaru who charge in are going to be pushovers, but these Magenta Warrior Monks have insane morale and defense. Well, at least I'm guessing they do, because check out the morale of my swordsmen. They're already dropping. Now, granted, they are way outnumbered, but even over here where my men aren't that outnumbered, like right here, I have cavalry nearby and everything. My men's morale is still lower, and these Warrior Monks are, you know, just about as solid as they can be. And here's what sucks, is these Warrior Monks can fend off cavalry just about as well as they can fight off other melee units. So you can see that my Yari Cav here, not only did I not get a good charge with them, but they're not having a whole lot of effect on their morale, and it's just causing me a lot of losses. I'm going to take a run at these bow samurai here, try and take some of them out. You can see the different mon and colors that I have on this unit. This is my Numidian Lancers. I like naming stuff after Carthaginian fun names since I was the heir of Carthage. Any case, yeah, you can see here that my Yari Cav got pwned bad, and my infantry line got pwned bad, all except for over here where I was faced up against his Yari spear units. But I mean, here's the fight. You can see some of my Cav units are here, but they're being killed. There's my Cav units there with the black and blue mon. Yep. So there's the fight going on, but I was unable to turn. I was unable to turn that fight. You can see my men are about to rout. They're tired, and check out again the morale of his monks. These guys are absolutely unshaken, and I think that they probably have like a high defense skill. Now, I mean, Shogun 2 Total War is supposed to be based around the idea that sword beats spear, spear beats cav, cav beats bow and sword, right? Except these warrior monks, they have kind of a spear sword thing, and they're kind of a middle of the road unit. And I think though, because of their morale, and I'm guessing they probably have high defense skill, not armor, that it makes them very tough units. Now check out Patchy over here. That was Patchy taking some pot shots into the enemy troops, and he's now going to retreat up this hill. So let me explain what I did wrong in my strategy. My opponent didn't really use a whole lot of strategy per se, other than he knew his forces could overpower mine, and that's what he did. And I thought my forces could overpower his, and I made that mistake. I should have fought using this terrain. And so now it's too little too late, but I am going to go ahead and take this terrain and try and redeem myself a little bit by trying to pull a win out of this battle, even though it's pretty long odds at this point since I'm relying on 3 units of Ashigaru type infantry. Now my bow units, they took an absolute beating, but they've stuck in the fight. I was proud of them here, and my opponent did not bring any cavalry except for his bodyguard. So he's counting on an infantry-heavy build, and some of you might say, oh, that's kind of stupid. Those unbalanced armies aren't any good. Well, I've actually noticed I'm really worried about the balancing of those monks, and here's why. Because like you saw, my Yari Cav really had no effect on them, and because of their morale and their defense, they can fight sword infantry just as good as they can fight Cav. So it's like neither unit has much effect on them, so the only way to really counter them would be to have your own monks, or to use like massive terrain advantages. So I really am kind of questionable about the balancing of those monks. Now, I'm not trying to get on my opponent saying he did anything cheap or anything. He didn't do anything cheap. He wasn't breaking any rules. There's no rules on this stuff. So my opponent played well. He's at the same skill level as me, and you can see that he outplayed me in many respects, and he brought a better army, quite clearly. But, you know, I am a little bit concerned about the balancing of those units. And then another thing that concerns me is you can bring as many veteran units as you want, and I kind of think that the number of veteran units that can be brought to battle should be capped, just so that you don't have like veteran spams, because some of the veteran units are incredibly tough, and if you're a new player coming in and you do happen to get matched against someone who's got some veteran units, it is going to be hard. And like, yes, the veteran units do cost more and stuff like that, but it's going to be hard. I mean, don't be fooled. Right there, I'm sorry I missed it, but you just saw the combination of Patchy. And now check out these warrior monks. That's right, you losers. How about some just desserts? Yeah, that's right. Roll around on the ground, you crybabies. Anyway, Patchy came and paid these guys a visit from behind, and I used a spear wall formation with my guys on this terrain advantage. And basically, my spear wall stopped the devastating charge of these magenta warrior monks. Yeah, keep rolling around, you crybaby. You just can't handle the Patchy. So in any case, but now my men are screwed because now I don't have a terrain advantage. My opponent has a lot of archers left, a lot of troops. It's a very dangerous situation for me. I'm using Patchy to distract the enemy army, and so that's what he was doing right there. You can see his troops, their morale is finally starting to waver. It's just that I don't have enough infantry left, and the morale of my men is wavering too, and you can see why. It says, let's see what it says. I think they're being affected, of course, just by the number of units that have already died and whatnot. So I didn't get these men into a spear wall like I did last time. It was a big mistake on my part. I was trying to do it. For some reason it wouldn't work, and I just went ahead and charged them in, but their morale was breaking because their counterparts' morale was breaking. They put up a valiant fight for just being Ashigaru units, but there's only so much they can do at this point up against Magenta Warrior Monks and Yari Samurai. Plus there's all those archers left even if they did win the fight. So I'll get in close here, get you some good kill animations. Check these guys going at it here. Of course my men are going to go ahead and rout now. That guy just got a good stabbing. And then you're, I think I missed it, but yeah, I did miss it, sorry. I was going to show you Patchy's last stand. Patchy just charged into those archers. Anyways, a brave last stand. But in any case, I got one more battle for you, and I'll bring you that. I hope you're enjoying these sweet ultra settings. This graphics card is really fantastic. So here we are in the second battle. We have the Wizard of Kane versus the Bong Wizard. So I think that I might have an advantage right off the bat, as I don't think that a Bong is going to be of any good to you when preparing for a battle. Unless you're preparing to die, then maybe you'd be in some kind of crazy state of mind, and you wouldn't really know what was going on while you were being stabbed or shot with an arrow or something. No, in any case, enough stupid joke on that. This is on the Waterfalls map, as you can see. This is actually the first time I'd ever played on this map. You can see that it's a sloping terrain. There's a high side and a low side, and obviously there's some little creeks and a few wooded areas where you might be able to do some hiding or cover. So here you can see the sloping, like I said. Here's the beautiful waterfall. Oh, looks so nice, and ultra. In any case, there we go. My army this time consists, Patchy's army I should say, my army, consists of one Matchlock Ashigaru, and these are arquebus armed peasants. I have 6 units of Katana Samurai. I like the sword infantry, and it's mainly because I don't have any Magenta troops. I do have some Yari Samurai troops unlocked, but I haven't had good luck with them really yet. Even using that cool charge ability they have, I haven't had a whole lot of good luck with them. But in any case, there's all my Katana Samurai, and then I have 2 units of Bow Samurai. I've never used these guys in an online battle before. So there's my Bow Samurai, and they can fire flaming arrows, and when used properly they can have a devastating effect on morale and numbers. I have 3 units of Yari Cav. Once again, it's the 3 same veteran units that you saw in that last battle. And then of course, rounding out my army is Mr. General Patchy here, straight out of Poland, Lithuania's Renaissance period, right on into the end of the medieval period in Japan. I guess they made a time machine or something. Let's see, my opponent over here, Bong Wizard, he's got a couple of, several Yari Ashigaru units. I think he has 3 or 4 of them. I think 3. And they're guarding his archers. Let's see, up front here, he's got 3 Bow Samurai. So his skirmishing component is better than my own. You can see him firing flaming arrows, and he's wasting those flaming arrows, which is kind of hilarious. He's wasting those flaming arrows on my Ashigaru. And check out this dude. He's like, oh, such an honor to die for Patchy. Look at my men just running right past him. I love how I always use peasants to absorb fire. So see, check it out. Here's my flaming Ashigaru. That's awesome. And then he's chasing him with his cav. So he's wasting all this time and energy on a unit that only cost me 400 koku, and it's really a piece of crap unit. And so my plan really worked outstanding there, which is to keep his archer fire off of my Bow Samurai. Plus, whenever you use the flaming arrow thing, it's not like Rome Total War where you can just leave flaming arrows on. It's a special ability, so he can only use it once every like several minutes. And it has a very devastating effect on morale if you use it at the right place in a battle. And so my opponent really wasted that. That's my opinion. And of course now, like I said, my Bow Samurai have come up within range and minimized some of my losses, that would have come from those flaming arrows. Here's my own bow samurai returning fire. These guys are pretty sweet. Check them out. Man, you gotta love how fluid the graphics are here. I am so glad I got this graphics card. It is amazing. Like, I've just never seen, you know, a game this nice run so fluid before. Really something else. There's Patchy running right through the arrows. And look, I'm using flaming arrows here, and I'm using this on some of his infantry. Right up here, see I flamed a bunch of these infantry in order to kind of degrade their morale right before I charged in my Katana Samurai. So that was the plan, but I didn't realize there's even more hidden units up here. You had one more unit of hidden Yari Cav. So my men up here are really outnumbered, and they're probably going to die. But down here lower, I'm going to do like, I couldn't really get my cavalry around the flanks, so I'm just going to pierce right up the center because he didn't have any spear troops in the center. So here's my my Yari Cav just blasting right through the center of the enemy Katana Samurai, and they're not going to really be able to do much to stop that. So if you can see right there, my strategy's working. It's just to pierce a hole right in the center of his troops and to kind of hopefully collapse this flank. And my idea is that hopefully I'll have enough men left in order to beat his victorious flank. So now it's just kind of a speed operation. Can I destroy his flank and meet his victorious troops in time? So here I am hammering and anviling out these Katana Samurai. That's one of my veteran units there with the different mon and the colors. Pretty cool. Got some cool death animations going on throughout there if you keep an eye open. CA really outdid themselves on that. So here's his victorious flank coming to meet my victorious flank. Right now my entire flank isn't free, but it's now becoming free. But I have to hurry, and so for the time being, I'm using these bow samurai to help. Sorry, these are my Ashigaru. These guys are once again absorbing fire. You can actually see they're getting a couple of shots off. But I'm using my bow samurai, which are a little bit further back, right here, to fire into his massive infantry. And this is going to help even out the number. Actually, right now I'm firing at his general. I forgot. So here I am shooting in at his general. And then here in a minute I'm going to target this massive infantry over here. And that'll help demoralize them for this last critical fight. So check it out. The fight is very much in the balance. But my opponent's general, I think, got killed right there. And you can see his men's morale wavering. And my ragtag remnants of cavalry go ahead and come in on his flanks. And then also I have my bow samurai firing in. So that's enough to just go ahead and break the morale of these men finally. And so that was an extremely close battle. So I hope you enjoyed this battle footage. I think there was a pretty good lesson to be learned in both battles. One is I realized in this battle I had a flank that was losing, and so I cut my losses on the other flank. I had to make a quick strategy to push through in order to turn the tide of that battle to be able to have a chance to win. My opponent played pretty well there. And on the first battle, props to my opponent for just absolutely knowing that his infantry was superior to mine, and it was my mistake to not use that terrain to my advantage. So I hope you enjoyed those, and of course I have the results screens spliced in. There's no commentary on those, but like I said, I hope you enjoyed those battles.